It's the great.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Family channel. My name is Candace. I am the mom of a great family. I just wanted to share with you guys a little story. So a lot of you guys know that I know how to cornrow. I know how to braid. I braid Kellen's hair, I braid my hair, I braid my husband's hair. So I'm pretty kind of good at braiding. But I just wanted to share with you the story on how I learned to cornrow and why I learned to cornrow. So let's go and start with the why. So I don't know if you guys seen that previous video on, I believe it was my husband's channel, and Kellen talked about how I used to cut his hair. I'm not sure around what age it was, but I actually used to just straight get the trimmers or clippers or whatever they're called and just straight, like no guard or anything, cut his hair off, because his hair would grow and it would get to like a point where I was like, I don't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to like do fades or like lineups or anything like that. And you know, Kellen's other dad didn't know how to cut hair. So for me, it was like I used to have to pay to take Kellen to get a haircut, or I would do it myself. So I got tired of doing that. So I kind of just let his hair grow. And then it was fine for a while. He would have like 3 or 4 good inches of curly hair, and it was a cute little thing going on. But it wasn't until it started like coming down to his face, and it wasn't quite ready for a ponytail. Obviously he didn't really want to wear a ponytail because he thought, or like he looked like a little girl. Everyone would be like, oh, your daughter is really cute, and I'd be like, it's a boy. But anyways, so I took it upon myself to take him to a hair braiding place, because I didn't know how to braid hair and I didn't know anyone that knew how to do it either. So I was like, I'm gonna take him to this place, see what happens. It was around $60 to braid his hair. So I took him and they did a great job, but the only thing about it was it didn't last long. It lasted about a week, I would say, and it started getting fuzzy and his spray started coming out, and it was $60 for a week hairstyle. And I really wasn't wanting to spend that money on braiding his hair. I thought it would last a good while. I thought it at least last maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. So anyways, after that, I was like, I'm going to learn how to do it. I was very determined to learn how to do it. So what did I do? I looked it up on YouTube. It's funny because I looked it up on YouTube. Now I'm showing you or talking about it on YouTube. Interesting. But anyways, I looked it up on YouTube and I'm like, okay, it doesn't seem that hard. I just searched up, you know, cornrow or learning how to cornrow for beginners or something like that. A few videos popped up, so I watched them, and then I had Kellen lay down and I practiced braiding it on his hair. And let me tell you, the first couple of times I did it, not cute. But I kept trying, and Kellen kept letting me try on his hair, thankfully. And was really patient with me in my learning process. And then finally I just got it. And I wouldn't say that now I'm like an expertise on it, because there's a bunch of things that I can change and do better to make my braids better. But we could talk about that later. But what I'm saying is I learned how to do it from YouTube. I would sit Kellen down or lay him down on my lap, and he would have a pillow, and he would be really comfortable watching TV or something. So most of the times he'd be asleep, and I just learned how to braid, and I'd practice like you know, different designs and all this stuff, which I'm not really great at designs or like doing zigzags or anything like that. I'm a plain straightforward back type thing braid. Eventually I want to learn how to do more like intricate braiding, but that's in the future. But anyways, so yeah, that's the reason why I learned. I loved Kellen's hair, and I loved that it was really curly, and I wanted to figure out, how do I maintain his hair? How do I let it grow without it just being out all the time and getting all tangled up and dirty? So I learned how to braid from YouTube. So now that I know how to do it, I actually want to show you guys how to do it. So I want to do a little tutorial on how I braid hair. Now, again, disclaimer, I am not an expertise. Like, I don't sit here and say like I'm like a hair braiding specialist or anything like that. This is just the way that I do it, and I just want to follow along with that and say that I don't braid really tight. I don't use a lot of products. Sometimes I will, sometimes I don't. It just depends. And then another thing is sometimes my lines aren't very straight. The main reason why I don't braid really tight and get it like really nice, and you've seen people when their braids are just like super clean and tight, the reason why I don't do that is because I worked at a dermatology office for 6 or 7 years. I don't know, maybe it was 8 years, but I worked there for a long time, and I've seen the damage that tension on the scalp can do to your hair maybe 10 years, 20 years later after doing it. And it's that constant tension on your hair, and it causes what is called traction alopecia. And for me, it's like I want to be mindful of Kellen's hair, of course now, but mindful of his hair in 10 years and 20 years and 30 years when he's having to care for himself. So I don't braid tight because I want to be cautious about how much tension I'm putting on his scalp, because I know that, you know, the follicles can die out, and like I said, I've seen the damage that it can do, and I just want him to have healthy hair. So a lot of people comment like, you know, those braids aren't that nice, or they're not tied, or she can't grab, or whatever, all these little terms. But I'm just saying I braid my way on my son's hair so that it benefits him, and his hair is out of his face, it looks nice and clean. Then yeah, so if you want to learn how to do it, this is a beginner style on how I do it, please continue watching. I'm gonna go grab Kellen, and then we're gonna show you how we do it. Alright guys, so I have Kellen here, and I have all of his glorious hair here with us, and now we're gonna show you how to do a cornrow. Are you excited to have your hair cornrowed? He hasn't had his hair braided in a good, what, 2 months? I'm just going to do one braid and take it out because we are letting his hair rest over the summer until school starts in 3 weeks. There's going to be one quick braid on showing you how I do it. So I'm going to start off with a straight line. Like I said, I'm just going to do one to show you guys. So I'm just doing a straight line back, and I just separate his hair accordingly. And then I'm just going to show you guys how to do straight back, a straight back cornrow. So I'm going to do another line, just like that. I'm going to get the hair that I'm going to braid, which is going to be all of this. So I have my sectioned hair, and I am going to go grab a water bottle. So I'm actually going to have Kellen hold this. I'm going to spray the hair that I'm going to braid, get it all nice and wet. Again, like I said, this is just what I do when I braid hair. Some people like to braid their hair dry, or I guess it just depends on the hair texture, but I like it nice and wet, and I like it detangled, which obviously I hope everyone does that. I'm also going to spray a little bit of leave-in conditioner. Like I said, most of the time I don't use any products. Sometimes if I do, it's a leave-in conditioner or something of that sort. I'll make sure all of the other hair that I'm not braiding is out of the way. So I'm just going to comb it away like this, over here on this side. And sometimes I just let the comb sit there to hold the hair down for me. And this is what I do to start braiding it. So now that I have the hair nice and detangled, I'm going to start the braid. So what I do is I will start by getting a section of 3 little strands. So I use my fingers most of the time just to do it. Like I said, I don't do it very perfect or try to get it super perfect. I just do what feels right. So I'll grab 3 sections of hair, 1, 2, 3, and then I will twist one underneath. Let that hang for a second. And then I'll grab this one, and then I'll twist that one underneath the other hair. And then with my index, or my pointer, or what is this finger? The middle finger. And when I go to grab the hair, I actually grab more hair. So I'm grabbing more hair, and then I'm twisting it again. Grabbing more hair, holding onto it, and twisting it again. And I just keep doing that same process all the way down. Like I said, I'm not trying to get it very perfect. This is just a method of getting his hair out of his face and maintaining his hair, his long hair. And so I just keep going. And sometimes I'll I'll clean it up and make sure it's really nice and straight. But for the sake of this video, I'm just showing you a real quick way on how I braid his hair. And you can see, like, it's not the best braid right now, but you can see the basics of what I'm getting at and what I'm doing. So yeah, this is just a quick, and I just keep going, and the further along I go, I continue to grab hair from the side. So I'll grab the hair and grab it with my finger, and I twist it around. So I'm going to show you guys one more time. The tighter you hold the hair, the better, for as far as like what it looks like afterwards. Really quick, show you guys again. I section the hair. Kellen still has sand in his hair from the beach. Don't mind it. Make sure my line is straight. Let his hair. And comb it out. I'm gonna brush all this down. So what I do is I'm gonna section the hair and then do like a line across like this. Now we'll take this front section of hair and I will separate it into 3. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Into 3 little sections, just like that. And then just make sure they're really nice and sectioned. Grab them from the very root. And I'm going to twist them. So this finger is going to grab the last one. So it's going to grab this one and bring it over. Make sure it goes all the way. And this finger is going to grab this guy. So grab from each end and then twist them. So that middle hair, you're going to grab it. And then you're going to grab this middle finger is going to go all the way to the end again. But when it grabs it, it's going to grab some more hair down here. And it's going to collect it and add it together. And then same thing, you're going to grab some hair, and then this middle finger is going all the way to grab the end hair, but it's also going to grab some more hair. And you just keep doing that. Make sure your hair is detangled and everything all the way through. This middle finger goes to grab more hair with this end hair. So this is the last hair. So the last hair sits here, and then you also grab some new hair and add it together just like that, and then you twist it. You just keep grabbing hair as you go. So I just grab more hair and I just loop it over. So I grab the hair, then I loop it. This one's gonna go over, this one's gonna go push through. And I just keep doing that, and it's pretty fast after a while, after you get it. It's kind of messy sometimes if you have a person with a lot of hair. So that's what I just keep doing. And of course you can make it nicer and cleaner, so I was obviously grabbing some hair from out here. But if you keep your hair laid down on the sides, you don't get all those little scraggly hairs on the sides. This is just me showing you my little technique on how I do braiding hair. So that's it, and then I would braid it all the way to the end. So yeah, that's a really basic cornrow. Like I said too, like my lines are not perfect or perfectly straight right now, and that's okay. I'm gonna be taking this out because he's not gonna have his hair braided until school starts, but this is a nice little cornrow. And then if I wanted to, I can add another cornrow here, and it'll just be really easy. So I would just add section the hair off, just add a line here, detangle it, make sure all of this is up and all of this is down. You want to be really careful with these little baby hairs and not pull them so tight. Like I said earlier, this is the hair that goes first when you put so much tension on the scalp for a long period of time, and that causes, alopecia or traction alopecia. So these hairs that are really fine at the what is this called? The edge of your hairline are very fragile. So be careful with those. I usually try not to pull on them that hard, but I'll just, I do braid them into the braid, but I'm just really careful with it. Same thing, 3 little sections under, and when I'm going under, I'm continuing to grab, going under, I'm continuing to grab, and sometimes I'll let it go so that I can grab it again tighter. so it makes a cleaner braid. And I'll just keep going, continuing to grab. And at this point you see that this is loose. I kind of just pull it a little bit to make it tighter. And when you lay your fingers down flat, you're able to get the braid flatter. And of course, the tighter you pull, the tighter the braid, the flatter the braid, etc. So yeah, that is a cornrow. So you can see the two little cornrows there. Nice. Alright guys, so I hope you really enjoyed my little tutorial on how I cornrow. I hope I explained it right. I'm not really that great at explaining myself when it comes to certain things, but I hope that you are able to catch on if you're wanting to learn how to do it by just the movements of my fingers. So yeah, I really enjoy braiding. Like I said, I do want to get better at it, but it's just for me, it's just a little bonding time with me and Kellen where I can braid his hair. And sometimes the bonding is kind of hard because he doesn't like when I pull on his hair, or he'll be tired. So it's just a time for us to be super close with each other, because he's right there on my laps and he can't go anywhere until I'm done. So it's something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy doing it for my husband as well. I like to, you know, massage his scalp and get in there and, you know, play with his hair. So if you're wanting to learn, if you are a newbie and you know you want to just try to see if you can do it, watch this video a couple times and I'm sure you're gonna get it. So like I said, I hope you really enjoyed it. If you guys want me to do any other videos, any other hairstyles or anything that you notice that I do or have done on Kellen or Chase or myself, you know, just let me know, comment down below, and then I will do them. So I really want to get your guys' input on what you want to see here on our family channel. So please be open, please let us know, and you know, we'll make sure to take in consideration your suggestion. So thank you, and we hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. I can feel the power of the grace. It's the grace.